In this section, we're going to talk about why it's important to break apart the picture deck pattern and suggestions on how to do this. The picture deck teaches 3 different parts simultaneously: letter name, keyword, and letter sound. For most students, the repetition they receive from these components, visual drill, tactile drill, intro new, and auditory drill, is enough for them to distinguish the meanings between the different parts. For some students, this is not enough, and understanding terminology may be the issue. For instance, look at the picture deck card on the screen and ask students to give you the letter name. You want them to reply by saying just the letter name, F. Or if you ask students to say the sound of the letter, you want them to reply by just saying the sound, F. What happens for some students is that they give us all the components when we are only asking for one. For example, instead of saying F when we ask for the letter name, they say F, fish, F. Students who do this may not understand the terminology of the different parts. Playing a quick game that breaks apart the different terms is very helpful. This game can be done in a whole group after the visual and tactile drill, or outside of the OG lesson. Just choose a few letters a day and focus on one part. Ask students to say that part when you tap the cards, one at a time. Be sure to use the terminology every time you tap, so that they connect the terminology to the part. For example, if you are practicing the terminology letter name, when you tap each card, say letter name, and have students reply with the name of the letter. Spend a few days on each component before switching to another. And be sure to go back and review any of the terms that students struggle with. When you feel that your students understand the different terminologies separately, you can play the game by combining all the terms. Up next, you will see a demonstration that will show you how to break apart the picture deck pattern that I just discussed. Please follow along and participate as if you are the student.
So Shannon, I'm going to ask you what the letter name is of these cards.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So what's the letter name?
B.
Letter name.
W.
Letter name.
L.
Letter name.
R.
Letter name.
O.
Letter name.
D.
Letter name.
T.
So I'm just going to do a few cards, maybe after your visual and your tactile drill, or maybe another time during the day. You definitely want to just practice with that terminology. So I would probably spend about a week. For those children that struggle, I may pull them out, into a small group and do another little practice that day, because some kids just need a lot more. Our at-risk children need a lot more practice. So then I would switch, and then I could say, all right, let's do letter sounds.
Okay.
So at a different time. So you ready, Shannon? What's the letter sound?
B.
Sound.
W.
Sound.
L.
Sound.
R.
Sound.
A.
Sound.
D.
Sound.
T.
Good job. And then if you need to, because we will practice at the beginning of our lessons, we do have a practice. We're just working on keywords. But if you're having students that are still struggling on keywords, then you can also do that. There are some that are a little bit more problematic, like jam. Some kids like to say jelly or jar. Up, goat, yo-yo, and there's some other ones. So if there's some keywords that you know that children are struggling with, then you can just do that. Just say keyword and ask them to give it to you. So Shannon, we're going to do keyword.
Jam. Up. Goat. Yo-yo. Itch. Boy. Wagon.
Okay. One more?
Lamp.
Good job.
For students who are still struggling, please find time to provide a second opportunity to play the game each day. This concludes the Breaking Apart the Picture Deck pattern.